Hello, good morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are when you're watching this video. My name is Trevor Fall. I've been teaching since 1998. So for a lot of my students at university level, I've been teaching longer than they've been alive, but I'm not old yet. Anyway, today we want to look a little bit at writing a paragraph, and I just want to identify some key parts that I often see confusion, or sometimes students are saying, Mr. Trevor, I'm not understanding this or that. So when a teacher says for you, let's write a paragraph, sometimes you hear cheers because some people like writing and like expressing their ideas. For a lot of students, though, there's some tears. And I think part of it, or most of it, is there's not a clear understanding of what are the steps involved when you're writing a paragraph, and also then how do we improve or make our paragraph better. So we're going to look in this video just a couple of steps and then move into brainstorming and writing your topic sentence, which is involved in the first two steps. So as we look and go through some of this information, you don't have a handout, but if your teacher has given you examples of paragraphs, that's where you would look at what is the topic sentence and how do you make the topics, identify that of what the main idea is. And we'll talk about these four steps. So what I've found, to keep it simple, is if you're writing a paragraph, if you're writing an essay, even when you're writing a research paper, so basically all from junior high, high school, university, or if you're learning English as a second language, if you have these four steps memorized, then it doesn't matter if it's a paragraph, essay, or research paper. Follow the same four steps. The time of it might be a bit different. Some of the parts of it is a bit different, but it gives you a structure or a framework to follow. So I encourage, and this is no different from many textbooks that are used in the classrooms, but you'll find that many times those are a little bit long, confusing, etc. So I try to keep it simple. So brainstorm. What is the topic and what are you being asked to write about? Make a quick outline, then write your paragraph, and then revise. So let's talk a little bit about brainstorm. Sometimes people, this is the first time people have seen those words. We have brain, which we know. We have a storm, which we know. But when we're putting those ideas together, it just means thinking of ideas. No, there's no right, there's no wrong. You're just pulling out some ideas and deciding what you want to write about. So let's give this example. Should teens have cell phones? So I basically have two choices. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. And then I have to think in my mind, okay, well, what age? I mean, teenagers is usually age 13 to 18, but we know that kids, even as babies and 2 and 3-year-olds are either getting cell phones or watching their parents' cell phones. So in this, we'll talk about should they have cell phones or not, and maybe an appropriate age when they get their first cell phone. So I can say yes. Well, what are some reasons? Contact with their parents, chat with their friends. Maybe there's an emergency that they need to report. I think those are legitimate reasons for having a cell phone. I can also look at the other side. What's the difficulty or danger of cell phones? Well, it's too easy to play games. Kids or teenagers are not necessarily going to use it responsibly. It distracts them from their homework or from sports or other activities. And it can be dangerous because people can contact them through their cell phone or social apps they're on and try to manipulate them, or they can see or be exposed to material and information they're not really ready for. So those are all some ideas why they should or should not have cell phones. So the next step that I want to do is I want to decide, okay, well, what am I going to write about? So I've decided, I think it's easiest for me to think of specific examples at age 12. And I'm going to write a paragraph that, yes, it's okay for teens to have cell phones. I'm going to eliminate the answers I won't talk about. So emergency use, and then no. So all of the ideas that I had brainstormed about, no. And I'm just going to focus on these two ideas: contact with parents and chat with friends. So that's helped me think of some broad general ideas, make it a little bit more specific, and now narrow it down. Now, the next step is, what is my topic sentence? what am I going to talk about? And this is where I'll show you some examples. So I have contact with parents. I want to think of specific examples. So my son's activities after school, or if there's an emergency, those are reasons I would contact my parents, or why a teen should have a cell phone. With reason two, chatting with friends. We know that teens socialize and are developing their social skills. So having a cell phone gives them a chance to chat or text with their friends. Okay. So let's pause now at this point and look at what is a good topic sentence.